I'm live here in my office. Hold on a second. This camera may be a little bit dirty. Let me clean this. I'm going to try to get this squared up. I haven't used that camera in a while. And we'll see if we can get some people in here. I'm going to try to see if the stream's good. See if the light's good. I don't have as good a lighting as I usually have. Maybe a little bit grainy this morning. I hope everybody can see me okay. I'm using a different camera, but I hope the stream. Hey Zach, how are you? Does it look okay, Zach? I'm using a different camera. I'm using one off of my other computer, and I'm hoping the stream's going to look okay. Can you see me okay and hear me okay? Hey Jamie, it's midnight there. Yeah, got me good. Okay. Well, it may be a little bit grainy. It looks like it's a little bit grainy. I'm using a different camera. Everything's good. Well, Trump's doing okay, I guess. He was back in Butler, Pennsylvania yesterday. I noticed. That's where he got shot. That's where he got his ear shot a couple of months ago. Hey Walter, everything looks good. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm still cleaning up here. We're trying to. My wife and I, we've been working trying to get the landscaping looking better and getting all this debris cleaned up and stuff like that. It's still a mess up here in Western North Carolina. Of course, I'm just on the fringe of what happened. I mean, it is devastating what happened on up north of here and west of here. Over in Ralston County, which is just 2 counties over from us. I mean, I've got, where I'm on the corner of Gaston County is where I live, and then Cleveland County, and then right past Cleveland County is Rutherford County, or Ralston County is how they pronounce it. But that's where Chimney Rock and Lake Lure and everything is like that, and it is devastating up there. And that part of the country is really in bad shape right now from there north and everything. Hey Jerome, how are you? Yeah, it's a tragic situation, and I've been looking at a lot of different news reports and volunteer stuff. You got government trying to get in the way of volunteers that are actually working up there. If it wasn't for people like Samaritan's Purse, that's Billy Graham's place. Samaritan's Purse is doing some fantastic work up there. Even Greg Biffle, who is a former NASCAR driver, he's been flying in and out with his helicopter and helping people. And then you got FEMA, which goes up there and books a couple of these hotels, and people that they're trying to get out of the mountains and give them a safe place to live and everything. They can't get a place because FEMA's got it booked up, and they're sitting there organizing themselves, trying to figure out what to do. But the real people are getting out there and doing it. And sometimes these organizations that they showed on TV where one guy almost got arrested for rescuing people with his helicopter. And it's crazy because you got some people within government that feel like they're bigger than everybody else, and they can tell you what to do regardless if you're doing something good or not, which is ridiculous. And those kind of situations are just not acceptable. I mean, it's terrible. Yeah, I know it. And yeah, FEMA gives them $750, but what do? They use FEMA money to put the immigrants up in hotels at $300 a night. And they spend that money. They have spent billions, not millions, billions of dollars for the immigrants in the past couple of years. But yeah, they'll give somebody $750, which would give them groceries for 2 weeks, and that's all that is. I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing in comparison to what they've lost. So it's ridiculous how the government is treating them right now. And you know who's in charge of the government right now? Harris. So don't vote for Harris. For God's sake, don't vote for Harris. I mean, get her butt out of there and at least try to get things squared up in this United States. I mean, the government worked its best when Trump was in charge. And people that can't see that are crazy, straight crazy. I mean, I had some arguments with some people. I'm not going to say who it was, but I had some argument with some people that I thought had better sense. And they were talking about, they couldn't vote for Trump. I didn't say I like Trump. I like what Trump does. There's a difference. I've had a lot of boss men in my life that I didn't personally like them, but they got the job done. And that's the way I view Trump. I mean, I'm personally not say, oh, I love to go hang out with him and, play golf with him or something like that. That's not me. I'm not that. He's on a different level, but he knows how to run a company. He knows how to run a country. And that's what we need right now. We don't need these jacklegs out there that say, oh, yeah, I'm going to give you a tax break. I'm going to give you $25,000 if you go out and build a house. I'm going to give you so much if you start a bit. Bull crap. There's so much regulation that goes with that kind of stuff. Anybody in their right mind that's ever had to deal with the government knows how much regulation it would be, and you don't get what they promise. And they're promising the sky because they want you to vote. And that's all it is. Oh, I mean, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. Well, that's great, Walter. I tell you. Well, we the lineman that actually fixed our power. I mean, we were out of power just for a couple of days, but the biggest crew that was down here was from Canada. We had people from Quebec, Canada, down here helping restore the power for us, and that's crazy, but that's what happened. All of our guys were sent to Florida. I mean, the linemen and everything from up here, they were sent to Florida way ahead of time to be ready. And then all this crap hit the North Carolina mountains. I mean, it was pathetic. It was pathetic. But we're coming around. We're coming around. It's we're slowly but surely getting back in order. But the mountains, it's going to take months, if not years, to get things corrected. And I don't know if they'll ever correct some problems people have got. I mean, you got people's houses that are ruined or washed away or non-existent at this point, and they're still finding bodies up there. I mean, you've got people. I mean, if they got caught up in those floodwaters, they're probably dead because those floodwaters were so violent. It would kill you. I mean, the rushing of that water hitting you and then dragging you down the river and throwing you against other objects and everything would probably kill you. And I mean, if it wouldn't drown you, it would kill you. Just the force of it. It's pathetic. Oh yeah, yeah. I saw some highlights from that, Jamie, and I hope other people will see it, and I hope they realize that's the guy we need as president again. We don't need this crap. I mean, Harris has got the money to spend. She got all that Democratic money that they had. I mean, they got all these crazy donors, these rich people donors. I mean, and that's what you don't realize. I mean, she's not for the common person. I mean, she's got a lot of people fooled. She's got a lot of people fooled. I can tell you that. And the person I was talking to, she's turned it into a racial thing. She wants it to be racial. She wants to be as black as she can be when she's not even black. I don't know if anybody's been watching Candace Owen, and she's got Irish and Indian background. She has very, very little black background, very little. She's got, I mean, her dad was from was it Bahamas, somewhere over there, but she is primarily Indian. I'm talking about native Indian, not American Indian. I'm talking about from India. That's her heritage right there. But she wants to come off like she's black. Yeah, I'm a woman of color. Well, and people don't realize that the race of Indian, are considered Caucasian. They are not considered black. They are dark-skinned Caucasian, and are dark complected Caucasian because of their makeup and everything. They are closer related to Caucasian than they are to African. And people don't want to realize that. They don't want that. Jamaica, that's where I was thinking. Yeah, her dad was from Jamaica with Irish background, and plus her family owned 1,000 slaves. They said her family was rich in Jamaica, and they owned over 1,000 slaves. So yeah, that's the woman you want to tell you about your blackness and everything. Is when she was raised that way. She wants to come off like she was underprivileged. She's never been underprivileged. She's never been middle class. She's always been on the upper class, but she wanted to come off like she was middle class. She wanted to make it sound like she was in segregated schools and had to be bused. She wasn't. But that's for the average person to she's trying to fool people that way. But she can preach it all she wants to. It's not the truth, and it can be proven. Go look at Candace Owen. She goes online and she shows exactly how the propaganda that Kamala Harris has been putting out there about her family, so she can be viewed with the black community better. She wants to be viewed as underprivileged. She wants to be viewed like, oh yeah, we were in poverty. My mama had to be on food stamps. I had to work at McDonald's, which was a false claim too. She's never worked at McDonald's, and but that she has done everything and in a crazy way to boost herself on up. But when she was out sleeping with Willie Brown, that she was doing that to gain political access to people in San Francisco. She got her way there. She slept her way up to the top in San Francisco circles, and she dated Montel Williams and Willie Brown, and all these other people she tried to boast herself up with. I mean, those are documented facts. Those aren't anything I'm making up. That's a fact, and anybody can see that. Oh yeah, there's plenty of rhinos that I don't understand that, but yeah, they're the rhinos like Dick Cheney and even Mike Pence, who now says he don't want to vote for Trump. I mean, Mike Pence ain't going to better himself at all. I guess all he's trying to do is get on a talking circuit or something. I mean, he's ruined himself as far as true Republicans, but whatever. I mean, all these guys got a motive themselves to do something. But what do you say? What do you say? Well, I hope everybody else is doing fine. I'm kind of spouting off what I'm doing and everything. Oh yeah, Kamala Harris was not good for San Francisco. That's for sure. She was not good for San Francisco, but like I said, it is what it is. and I don't. I just don't know what we're going to do if we don't get Trump back in there. I would hate to see 4 more years of this kind of policy where it's spin, 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 give everything to the transgenders and the people that are woke. I mean, just let us put men in little girls' bathrooms. What are we going to do? I mean, it's terrible. Hey, good morning, James. Good morning. Yeah, we need to be able to talk some sense into. Well, I don't know if anybody's mind is going to be changed at this point. I think the big thing we got to do is get the vote out. We got to make sure that everybody does not get complacent and doesn't vote. I mean, we need to vote and vote strong, and that I think we'll be okay if we can do that. But right now, it's neck and neck, I think. But we'll see what we can do. I mean, I hope we can pull it off. I hope we can pull it off. I hope America wises up and says we don't need 4 more years of Kamala Harris, and if we don't, we're going to be in bad shape. But that is some of what we're coming up with right now. I just don't. I don't know. I'm fearful of what. I mean, it's the race is way too tight. That's for sure. I hope everything works in Trump's favor, and I hope that the smart people will get out there and say, "Hey, we don't need this crap." I mean, you got some pathetic people that feel like they can put up with 4 more years of what we got. Yeah, yeah, and you can tell that the left has gone crazy. What you talk about Elon Musk, they hated him because he bought Twitter, and when he bought Twitter, he freed up a lot of. He made it so they couldn't censor the right, and the left hated that because they loved the censorship that they put on the right and Trump last election, and all the different things that should have been brought out and couldn't be brought out because you know the bombshell thing about the laptop. Oh yeah, that's false information. Bull. It wasn't false at all, and everybody knows that now. But what do we do? Well, I hope not. I hope I hope, and unfortunately the left is trying to make it climate change again. I mean, we've had storms for years. Unfortunately, this one hit the mountains, which is very unusual, very unusual. But I mean, that shows you the devastation of that much water. Water, too much water in any one location is what's more deadly that sometimes than the wind. I mean, a lot of places can withstand the wind to a certain degree, but the water devastation when you got flash flooding like that, and it all funnels down these mountain areas and everything. I mean, you don't realize like the mountains of North Carolina. I mean, you got hills maybe on both sides, and then you got all these people living in the valley, and that's the ones that are devastated because they're down in the valley, not so much on the hills. I mean, there's some people that live on the hills too, and some if they're not if they're in a situation where there's too much water around them, they could lose their house on the hills. I mean, my brother-in-law actually has one in this devastation. He has a house up there, up above Newland, North Carolina, and he hadn't got up there to see it. He had a friend go up there to see it. Now he almost lost his bridge that went across a big creek because the creek went way over its banks and way over everything. It did wash out his fence. I mean, a gate. He had a gate that and all the rushing water washed his gate out, but his actual bridge going up to his house is still intact. but his road has been eroded and everything else. He hadn't been up there. I helped him build that road 20 something years ago. And it's, I hate to see what it is now, but he's got a nice place up there, up above Newland. And there's been a lot of devastation up there too. Well, let's see what. Well, I know it. I mean, that's the thing. You need to vote with your pocketbook. Of course, the rich people, they vote with their pocketbook because they already have it. But if you're a working man, if you've got a business, if you've got anything like that, then you need to vote with your pocket. If you're a guy that you see how much money, how your money's been eroded because inflation. I mean, that's the thing about it. I mean, the cost of housing's gone up exponentially. The cost of food's gone way up. The cost of interest to buy a house has gone way up. Anybody that buys normal things, I mean, cost of a car. I mean, look at the cost of a new car now. I mean, I don't even, thank goodness, I don't need one. I don't need one. I hope I never need another one. I mean, I'm 73. If my cars will last 10 years, I'll be in good shape. After 10 years, I probably won't be driving anyway. I don't know. Or if I am, I'll be driving that same old car. But, and I don't go that much. So I don't need, I don't go like I used to. I mean, it used to be, I went, every day was a 400 or 500 mile trip. It seemed like I was going so many times back and forth through Charlotte, retrieving equipment, doing all kind of stuff like that. Or getting parts or this, I was doing a lot of traveling back in the day, but now that I've retired, I don't have to go anywhere except right around here. And that's all I need. I got about a 20-mile radius that I travel now. And if it's outside the 20-mile radius, I don't do it. I go to Charlotte very few times now. Maybe I have to go sometimes medically. I have to maybe go to Charlotte for a medical reason, but not lately. And I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to. I go to Shelby, I go to Hickory, I go to Gastonia, and that's about it. I don't go to any other places. If it's in Charlotte, I try to find a way not to make it there. Oh, I know it. I mean, that's the thing about it. Inflation is just terrible on stuff, James. I mean, it's. Oh, excuse me, guys. I had to yawn. You can tell I'm live and I'm natural. I can't edit that out. But yeah, it's not a good thing right now. It's not a good thing, that's for sure. Things are changing and it's tough. It's tough out there. It is really tough. Well, I hope everybody will. The word I got out there is, yeah, everybody's getting back to normal in North Carolina, at least in my area. We're getting back to normal, and I'm on the fringe of where the devastation was. I say fringe. I mean, 40 miles to the left of me, to the west of me, there's devastation, 40, 50 miles, and 40, 50 miles north of me is total devastation up in that area. But that's how close I was. I was 40 or 50 miles away from it. We got just a fringe of it. I was without power for 2 days. And of course, I didn't like being without power. I mean, I had generated power. I just didn't have my normal electric power. I've got a generator, so I was fortunate there. So I had a generator, and we didn't have water. The next time I'm going to be prepared for that. I'm going to put a breakout box on my generator so I can wire straight into my house, and then that way my well will work, and I won't be inundated with all the problems we had this time. But that's easily said. But the other thing is that you don't think about, and this is one thing I may change out and try to get a propane generator, is you got to have a big fuel reserve. And that was the biggest thing I didn't have. I had to go buy my gas, and then when I had to do that, I had to stand in line like everybody else to buy gas, because there were only a few places, and there was nothing around here in Cherryville. I had to go about 20 miles to get gas, and I got 3 5-gallon big 5-gallon jugs of gas that I got each time, and I had to do that twice. But those things, when this hits, you better be prepared, because you won't be able to find fuel, and that was my problem, is not finding fuel. Had I known, or had I thought about it, and next time, if we get any kind of preliminary thing where we're going to have an ice storm, or if we're going to have a hurricane or tornadoes warnings, I'm going to try my best to have fuel on hand, because think about it. If the roads are washed out, there's no electric power to anybody else, then it's not going to do you any good to try to find gas. I mean, you have to go way away from where you're at. And if there's a lot of devastation, you could be in a really bad shape trying to find supplies to resubmit or resupply yourself. I mean, that's a problem that I would have had it gone on further, but fortunately I didn't. Oh, God knows. Our governor's worthless, in my opinion. I mean, he's good for photo ops, but he's not good for getting we've not seen the state government taken back over. I mean, Roy Cooper is a joke, in my opinion. He's a Democrat, so he's aligned with Biden and Harris and all that sort of crap. But we need to get him out of there. But they have ruined the chances of our Republican candidate. They've got him so screwed up and everything, and he's a black man, but he was going to make a good one, I think. But they have smeared him so badly, and they got a lot of false accusations, and they're trying to. If he goes in, I'm gonna be surprised, because they're gonna have so many of these rhinos that won't vote for him, that should. But we'll see. Yeah, I know. Propane or diesel would be the way to go. And if I could get something like that with dual fuel, I'd be in good shape, because I carry 40 or 50 gallons of diesel on my truck at all times, and plus I have it in my trucks, my big trucks. So I try to keep a couple hundred gallons of diesel fuel available to me, and yeah, that would be a lot better than. But I mean, propane would be the ideal thing if I could get it switched to propane. If I get one with dual fuel and it could be propane or diesel, it'd be fantastic. But I haven't seen one of those yet. Well, I already have a 500-gallon LP. That's what I have, James, is exactly that. I have an underground 500-gallon LP gas tank, and that supplies my house now. So if I lose power and everything in the wintertime, I'll be in good shape. I mean, I have gas, and as long as I have a little bit of electricity to run everything else, I'll be in good shape. Yeah, that's what I like. Well, guys, I am going to cut it short again this week. I got a lot of stuff to do, I hope you understand. We are actually still working out here and trying to clean things up. And so I got my new mulcher working really good. That's been a big plus. I got the big disc mulcher I've got, and it does a fantastic job. I've done a lot, all these branches and everything that were all over the place, and just mulched them right up. So yeah, I've been working hard with that. So I've got to get back to work. I want to let y'all know, and y'all take care. Take care of everybody out there, and get the vote out. Get the vote out with people with common sense. I'll catch you later. See you guys.